I was learning to swim. I was in the beginner class, but there was like an advanced beginner that I should have been doing in this swim lesson. But because I didn't say anything, have I told you about this before? Because I didn't say anything,
I was just chuckling at.
They thought
I was chuckling at advanced beginner.
Oh,
so like that's
well, no, literally,
just a full ass oxymoron.
This is what happened. This is what's so annoying.
Yeah.
So there was just swimming lessons that my mom took me to, and I had some swimming lessons years ago, but hadn't been in a pool since, and so I was a beginner still in my mind because I was like, hey, if I'm still this nervous to get in the water, I'm not an advanced swimmer, you know? And so then I get in the water, and at first the teacher's like going over the rules in the pool and everything, just like watch out for each other, don't kick each other, like no, dunking each other, like just everyone was getting this lesson. Then she was like, okay, the kids who can swim this much come with me. The kids who like can't swim at all go over there. And so in my mind, I'm a kid who can't swim at all, And so I go over to the other direction, and then when I get over there, it's just a bunch of tiny kids. So it's me, this like 14-year-old, and then all of these like itty bitty babies getting swim lessons. Now be honest
though, how much bigger were you than them really?
They were like 4.
Oh, okay.
They were like 4 and 5. And I'm like 14.
Right.
And so the lesson starts, and they're like, we're just going to blow bubbles under the water. And in my head, I'm like, I've done all this. Like, what is this? This doesn't make any sense. And the other kids were like doing like half laps on the other side of the pool, but we're like going under the water just a little bit and blowing bubbles. And like, it felt like I was in a Lamaze class and I was the baby. Like, it was so embarrassing. And I didn't have the wherewithal to quit the lesson or to leave the teacher. Because the teacher's the teacher's acting like I need to be over there. And then we do the whole lesson. And then there's this one kid who I guess is I'm definitely the odd kid out. I'm the only one over here as old as I am. And this one kid who shouldn't be over here either because he's like 5 or so, but he's like swimming in place. And so I'm like, who's going to get this kid? This is insane, right? Like, this kid's like a little mermaid. And then he looks at me as I'm like doing whatever little kick exercise we're supposed to be doing. Because how they have you, when you're getting a swim lesson, they'll also have you grab the edge of the pool and do some kicks and stuff, like to learn how to push yourself and everything. And I'm pushing, and this other kid next to me, the little like 5-year-old kid, is also pushing. And he just looks at me and he goes, "So what's wrong with you?" And from that moment, I was like, okay, I have an enemy. Like, I have a mortal enemy. I don't want anything good for this kid.
I'm about to be an advanced murderer.
Because I was like,
wow.
What? And then he repeated it. He was like, "What's wrong with you?"
What's wrong with you?
And I was like,
so what's wrong with you?
I was like, what? And I'm like, what do you mean? And this is as I'm kicking. And he's like, you're like a grown-up kid. And I'm kicking next to him like, there's no grown-up kid. Like, if you're a kid, you're a kid.
Hey, now if they're going to be advanced beginners, I think there can be grown-up kids.
Yeah, right. And so...
Sorry, I'm just having fun with all the oxymorons today.
So then he's like, why aren't you over there? And I was like, because I can't swim like they can. Like this little kid doesn't understand the concept of like, I just don't know as much as they know. I know more than the class. Like, I should have been in middle beginner because the marquee, like the thing that you buy when you go to this swim lesson says beginner.
Right.
So already them breaking up the class was kind of wild, So then I'm going to what I think is a beginner class. Now, they didn't fully explain what that meant, but I projected my own stuff onto it because in my head I was like, okay, they're going to take the little bit that I know how to swim and make me able to fully swim. And I won't be able to swim in deep water, but I'll be able to swim the length of the pool without needing to put my foot down to get air. And you know what I mean? Like that thing.
Yeah. The basic goal of all swimming lessons is to get good enough to just not drown should you find yourself in water.
Yeah.
No matter what, that's the the base level is if I find myself in water, I want to be able to not die.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
And so then I'm like kicking next to this kid, and this kid is talking to me, and he clearly gets bored while he's asking me all these questions. So he stops grabbing the edge of the pool and just lets it go, flips over, and is now on his back, sort of like kicking up. Like, so he's just floating on his back and still moving his legs a little bit, but he's just sort of like moving in place. And I'm watching, I'm like, why are you over here?
Moving in place.
Like, this dude is like, he's like swimming like he was born in the water.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was a water birth.
Maybe it was a water birth.
Maybe they come out with a little extra skill.
And so then I asked the kid, because I get a little attitude with the kid because he just keeps asking me why I'm over there. You're like a grown up kid, blah blah blah. I was like, hey, there's no grown up kids, it's just kids. And then finally I was like, why aren't you over there? And then this kid goes, oh, I don't know. And then he goes under the water and goes and swims over with the bigger kids.
Wow. You reminded him that he was a great swimmer.
Yeah.
He, in the moment, was like, oh, you're right. I'm very good at this. Whee! Here I go. He shoots out of the water like a dolphin.
And he didn't go under the water like, let me get my bearings and then go swim. This kid went backwards like he was in a swim competition. Like he just doubled over in the water and flipped and then started swimming. Like he was a dolphin. I hated this kid so much. And so then the lesson ends. And I can't remember my mom took me there or my aunt took me there. But whoever took me there, I get out of the pool and I'm like, why did they have me with the little kids? Like I knew how to swim more than that. And then she was like, I don't know. I was waiting for you to say something. Like, because they stayed for the lesson. So I can't remember who it was, but they saw the whole thing. It was either my mom or my aunt that took me. But this is like so long ago, I don't remember. But she was like, yeah, I was waiting for you to say something. I was like, when's he going to get tired of this? And then, so then where the pool was like a snow cone cart. So there's a snow cone cart off a little bit ways at that, like near that pool. You still have to walk to it.
Okay.
And that kid, that 5-year-old, I'm leaving the pool, and he's already swam and then run over and got a snow cone and come back, and he said something like snide to me. I can't remember what it was. And it was so mean that it didn't seem like he was 5. It seemed like only an older kid could have thought of something so mean. But he was.
You got bullied by a kid 10 years younger than you.
But how? It's not bullying because I was not like.
You kind of sort of got bullied by a 5-year-old in this story.
Just because he was being mean to me doesn't mean I was bullied. By that logic, I've been bullied by a lot of babies. All right, I've picked up a baby before and it just immediately started crying, which didn't feel nice.
Criming? What'd you say?
I thought I said crying. What did I say?
I think you said cramming. That's what it sounded like to me.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, but he made fun of you, so what's wrong with you? And then he got you again at the snow cone cart.
Yeah, so
and you seem still not happy about it. So to me, that's what makes it puts it in the realm of getting bullied.
Nah.
I bet he's huge now too.
And so I'm walking away, and a kid said something about like what was it? It was like really messed up. It was to the point where I was like, "Oh, you're not 5." He said, "Oh yeah, don't forget your floaties next time," or something. He said something like that was like in that vein of like, "Are you gonna bring a noodle next time?" or like, whatever the thing was, right? And so this kid,
dog, you got bullied. I don't know how to tell you.
Look, fine,
a 5-year-old definitely bullied you. You got big dogged by a 5-year-old.
Fine, whatever. This kid's like, yeah, don't forget your floaty next time. And as he goes,
he lunged at you and you flinched.
No, that's not what happened. And so then, as he said that, he went to take a lick from his snow cone, and the snow cone was such an ice ball that it all just fully moved with his tongue off of the cup and fell on the ground. And I remember I just laughed at him because he was so shocked. He didn't know that could happen. Little man hadn't been around the block a couple times, didn't know how to eat a snow cone like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's good with the liquid water, but what about the frozen water? Little pump. All right. I'm glad gravity told him what time it was, And so anyway, he licked the snow cone. It fell off.
He's such a fucking idiot.
Me? What did I do? In this story, I didn't do anything.
No, but I love you because you talked about like swift comeuppance, but it took so long for him to get comeuppance.
What do you mean so long? What do you mean so long? He said the thing, and then he took a lick, and then his afternoon was ruined.
That was the second thing, though. He'd already bullied you earlier.
But it's swift comeuppance when you do a thing and then a thing happens. You're taking it as if it's the whole entirety of the situation.
You're also just acting like you won, which you still got bullied by a 5-year-old.
No, that kid was real upset.
He dropped his.
That kid's day was ruined. I didn't have to do anything to that kid. That kid licked the snow cone. It fell off the cup, and he was. That's where the 5-year-old kickback is. So he got like too big for his britches because he knew how to swim. But as soon as his snow cone splattered on the ground, he was a kid again, and he was all upset.
Oh God! Excuse me.
What?
I was coughing. So you're saying the snow cone put him in his place? Is what you're trying to say?
100%.
You did nothing. You did nothing and just watched.
I didn't have to do anything.
As your tormentor.
What was I supposed to do?
A slight inconvenience.
My tormentor. The slight inconvenience. Oh. Hey, this wasn't a neighborhood full of money. That was his only snow cone for the weekend.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. At least he got to feel like a big dog next to you.
Nah.
Even him out.
I was chilling.
Yeah, you sound real chill about it. I was chilling.
I was so happy.
Oh.
Just splattered. He had a bunch of blue all over his legs like an idiot. He looked so stupid. It got on his swim trunks. I don't know. I just laughed at him.
It's also really hard for me to imagine the story just not as you now either. It's really hard. I'm not really imagining a 14-year-old Josh. I'm just imagining you just like ha 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 in this kid's face.
Hey, That kid,
Oh,
that kid deserved that. Oh man, that's so funny to me that he and you could see on his face he got real upset. Like he didn't even, the bully was gone at that point. Like you want to say he bullied me? Any sort of bullying nature just melted away, and then he was a kid who wanted to cry because his snow cone hit the ground. Oh man. I'm pretty sure it was the first lick too. That's what makes it even more hilarious.
That's
to me.
embarrassing.
The fact that it's like he was about to enjoy a snow cone and then he went. Bruh.
That's the little kid equivalent of like losing your job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's that first lick and then your thing falls. You're just kind of like, what do I do with my life now?